Hello you guys, good afternoon or morning or night or whenever you happen to be watching this. I hope you guys are doing so well. Today I am feeling a little bit stressed just because I have a flight tomorrow, so I'm trying to get everything together before I leave, but regardless of that, I'm feeling good. And today I want to talk about honestly, I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story about me deciding to come here, because it was probably the most impulsive thing I've ever done in my life, and everything happens for a reason. I believe that this story can inspire some people, because I have told this story a couple of times to people in my life, and I know that they have definitely told me that it has helped them know that they can achieve things, they can do things without having to think too much. You can just do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. So I have been living in Toronto now for just over a year. June, July, August, September, October. Damn, so it's been about a year and 4 months already, which is crazy. The time goes by so quickly. So when I first came to Toronto, it was July 20th of last year, and I came here just for a trip originally. It was just 1 month trip, going home August 30th, I believe, so like a month and 10 days, right? Which is a long trip, but I was born here, I have family here, so I'd always wanted to come back. I just wanted to get a feel of, if I would like living here or not. So I came for a month with my best friend. Her name is Quay. Shout out Quay. I know she is definitely watching. So me and Quay came to Toronto for 1 month. I pretty much forced her, dragged her by her hair to come here with me. It was her very first time ever leaving Calgary, born and raised. So hopefully she's fine with me saying all this information about her. But I forced her to come with me. I'm very thankful and grateful that she came. We were kind of in the same boat where we both weren't going to school. We were both just working our lives away in Calgary, so why not, right? Let's go travel. I wanted her to see a different city, experience things, experience life things. And so we came here. It was hard enough being able to figure out how we were gonna stay here for a month. Obviously, staying in a hotel for a month would add up very quickly. So Airbnb was the way to do it. So we found an Airbnb. It was definitely not the most ideal situation, but as long as I have a place to rest my head, I was happy. So I found an Airbnb. Before I came here, July 20th, I came to Toronto about a week before that with my parents and my sister, and my sister was already living here at that time. Irrelevant. I did get to view the Airbnb that week when I was here and meet the Airbnb host and everything, which was very great, except for when I did view it that time around, I was under the assumption that, and now that I have lived and moved around so much in Toronto, I kind of look back and I'm like, damn, you're really stupid for thinking that, but I was under the impression that this place is for me and Quay and me and Quay only. I soon found out that the Airbnb host was also going to be staying there. He was an older man, so that was definitely not ideal, Luckily, he ended up being very kind, and he would make us dinner sometimes, and it ended up being okay. This Airbnb though was a studio apartment Airbnb that the host had created a second bedroom. So it was a studio where you have like a kind of a kitchen like I do, minus the island, and then one of those rooms with the sliding glass doors, right? No windows in that room. So that room is like a very depressing room, no windows, yeah. And then he took it upon himself to create a second bedroom with styrofoam walls and tape and a curtain as the door. So one room has a sliding glass door, the other room has a curtain. There's no soundproofing whatsoever. So July 20th comes around when we are moving in. That is when we found out that not only would the Airbnb host be staying there, but somebody else would be occupying the second bedroom. This came as a shock to me because now I'm like, okay, there's only 2 bedrooms, which there isn't even actually 2 bedrooms. It was like the little living area was turned into that second bedroom with the curtain door. At least that room had a window because it was supposed to be the living room where there's like windows, you know? Now there is 4 people staying in a studio apartment at one time, and I'm thinking to myself, where is everybody gonna sleep? I mean, me and Quay had already known that we were going to be sharing a bed for that month, which was already a battle on its own. I love my girl, but everybody deserves to have their own space. And it really wasn't bad for us. Honestly, I would do it all over again 1,000 times. I really would. So yeah, there was 4 people in this studio apartment, and I was kind of thinking to myself, like, where is everybody gonna stay, right? Come to find out that the one room with the sliding glass doors has 1 girl in it. Me and Quay are in the other room with the curtain as a door, and the Airbnb host is on a single mattress on the floor in the doorway, like literally in the doorway. Like, we would go out at night sometimes and come home and have to step over him to get inside and just crawl, you know, army crawl to our freaking curtain with a door room and quietly put ourselves to sleep. There was no getting food, no turning on lights, no talking. It was very, obviously everybody heard everything no matter where you were, so you had to be very quiet, and it was definitely not ideal, but we made it work. Until one day we were making food in the kitchen, me and Quay, and we had gotten along with the other girl that was staying in the other room as far as like everything went, having like a roommate, until one day we were making food and I am going to change and I'm looking for one specific shirt of mine, and I personally don't lose my things. I don't misplace my things. I'm very neat, I guess you could say, and I keep my things in order. So when I was missing my one shirt that I was specifically going to try and put on, I was like, that's weird. Where is it? And then I start noticing that some other things are missing too. So I go back out into the kitchen and I tell Quay, like, did you ever see like my shirt laying around or anything like that? As I'm asking her if she knows where my shirt is, I see the other girl leave her room and walk out of the apartment, and she's like putting on her shoes, everything, so I'm able to get like a good look at her, and I'm like, she is 1,000% wearing my shirt that I was just looking for. And I tell Quay, I'm like, I could be losing my mind, or you know, she could have the same shirt, but I swear to goodness that that is my shirt that she's wearing. And so, like I said, we started to notice that other things were missing as well. And I would never normally do this, but I just had a hunch that this girl was stealing from us. So, you know, the whole unit is just one big unit pretty much. There's no locks on doors. There isn't even any doors. So I just peeked inside her room. Her closet was like completely open. There was no doors on the closet either or anything like that. So I start to notice that a bunch of our stuff is in her room. My friend's OVO hoodie, Nike. I had like a bunch of my tops, hoodies, sweatpants. We were fuming. We were like, there's no way that this girl has been stealing from us, and we have been nothing but nice to her. So we obviously grab everything that's ours, and we right then and there left the apartment. We were like, there's no way. She just had left right before us. So we were ready to literally find her on the street. I don't know where she went, but we were ready to run and track her down. We had all of our things that she had stolen from us too in our hands still, so that we could like throw them in her face and be like, what the hell? She was nowhere to be found, obviously. She had left like maybe 5 minutes before us, so she had taken off. Little did she know, I guess, that she had to come back to like the house. So obviously we just stayed there. We waited for her to come home because she had to, and she was gonna get caught one way or another. I don't know what was going on in her head. And it's not like she didn't have clothes, you guys. It's not like she was like broke or like, you know, if she needed clothes and she asked me, maybe I would have given her a shirt or something. But she didn't even, she had a full closet of clothes, bags, everything. And so it just didn't make sense. So we waited for her to come home. She didn't, we were really hoping that she would come home before the Airbnb host, because we didn't want to make a scene in front of him or really even have to like let him know what was going on if we didn't have to. But he did come home first, and that was probably a blessing, because we got to tell him like, hey, when she comes home we are gonna yell at her, so be ready for that. And he actually eventually did get her kicked out, because, you know, he wasn't comfortable with her stealing from us. If she's stealing from us, she's probably stealing from him too, right? So she finally does come home, and like I said, she left the house wearing my shirt. So she comes home in my shirt, and I look at her dead in the eyes and I go, where's that shirt from? What size is it? That's my shirt. Take it off. Like, take it off. It's my shirt. And so she's stuttering. She's like, I don't know where it's from. Like, da 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 da. I'm like, I can tell you right now that that shirt is from here, and it's a size this. Give it to me. Like, take it off. Why are you like wearing my shirt? And so then we bring her into our room, and we have all of this stuff laid out on the bed that she had stolen from us also. And so we start telling her, like, why would you do this? Like, we were a lot more mad than how I'm describing it. Like, we were fuming. When I say, like, we were prepared to, like, literally, like, beat someone up, it was not good. There was no physical altercation, but we were very, very, very mad, because what gives you the right to think that you can go into our room when we're not there and take our stuff? So yeah, she was very shaken up. She was like, you know, obviously she knew that she had been caught. So yeah, I got her to take off my shirt, obviously not in front of me, like she can go do that, but she gave it back to me. She was wearing my freaking socks too. All I ever wear is Nike socks, and so she was wearing my Nike socks, and she was the type of girl that would wear mismatched, colorful, pink and blue ankle socks. Like, she had always worn those, and now she's wearing Nike socks. Like, they're definitely mine. So once she gave my shirt back, I was like, we're gonna go look through your closet together. Like, we're going, like, you're gonna stand there, you're gonna watch us while we go through your things. So yeah, we did, and luckily we didn't really find anything else than what we had already found. And so we had the talk as well with like the four of us, with the Airbnb host as well. He let her know that you have a week, and that's hard, being in that position, to have a week to find a new place to live. But she really honestly brought it upon herself, because why would you do that and then think that you can come home and I don't even know, like, you know, if she didn't wear my shirt in front of me, maybe she could have gotten away with it, you know, because if I didn't see that, I wouldn't have went in her closet and started looking for other things. Anyways, so yeah, she was told that she had a week before she needed to leave, and it was really hard living with her for that week. It's up until she left. It was like, get this girl out of my face. And we wanted to put like a lock on our door, but we didn't even have a door. And it was just really hard. So she packed her bag, she had all of her suitcases near the door, and she left the house, and I just told myself I need to go through her suitcases before she leaves. Like I said, I would never do this regularly. I respect people's privacy, their spaces. Like, I don't want to go through your stuff, because if you went through my stuff, I would be pissed. But she had already broken that boundary, right? So I'm like, I just need to have peace of mind and know that she's not leaving with anything that is mine. So I lay her suitcases down. She has like at least 2 of them and like a backpack or a bag or whatever. And I'm opening up them. I found at least 5 more things of mine. And this time there was nothing of my friends. I'm like, I think she has like a vendetta against me. I found a pair of my Aritzia sweatpants, a nice puffer, some t-shirts, a bunch of my socks, like just a bunch of things, again, that I had found. And of course, when she came home again that day, the same thing, I confronted her about it. You've done this how many times now, and you keep thinking that you're gonna get away with it? Like, are you stupid? You know, like, are you, I don't know. So she ended up leaving, thank God. And somebody else was brought in. This girl was very, very lovely. She was honestly never even home, so it kind of felt like we had the place to ourselves sometimes, which was very nice. Yeah, she was very, very lovely. One time she brought me and Quay home sushi as well. Yeah, we were just going about our vacation, going out, having fun, seeing Toronto, meeting a lot of people, trying to make the best out of our experience, although the days were going by very quickly and I knew that we were gonna have to go home. So about 3-4 days before our flight home, we get a notification that our flight had been delayed, and it was only delayed by an hour. We could have easily still hopped on that flight, you know? But they did give us the option to cancel for a full refund or to still go on the flight just an hour later. And the week up to our flight home, I was feeling really, really depressed, and we were both crying a lot, just thinking about having to be home. Obviously, I had always wanted to move here, and this just kind of felt like it was a message or a sign that, you know, maybe I should stay. If I'm thinking about going home and it's making me this upset, why? Like, nothing is forcing me to go back home. So if I can get my money back for my flight and stay here and figure it out, then that's what I'm gonna do. And for those 3 days, it was extremely hard having to figure out if I was going to stay or not. A lot of phone calls with my mom, hanging out with my sister asking for her opinion, talks between me and Quay where we would just cry, and like, you know, because God forbid too that like she has to leave me or I have to leave her, like, you know, it was not fun having to make such a big decision in such a short amount of time. And Quay was debating on staying and moving with me. You know, we're like, we can get a place together. We both have no obligations back at home. We were both very upset to be going back home. But this was her first time even out of her city, you know? That was a big step in its own. So moving impulsively like that was a huge step. So the time rolls around, I made my choice to stay, and I am so thankful for that. But it was, little did I know, things were about to get very hard. I mean, I did know, I was definitely aware, but I just didn't realize like the level, I guess, of how hard things would get. So the day comes when our flight was supposed to be, and I sent Quay off on her way, which I really honestly in my heart felt so sad about, because I mean, she had never even traveled, like that was her first time being on a plane. Now the second time she's ever going to be on a plane, she's going to be on the plane by herself. I really wish that she had stayed with me, but everything happens for a reason, and so I know that that was her path and that was what she was supposed to do. So I ended up staying, and I was really happy at the time. After she had left though, the Airbnb that we were staying at the host had expected both of us to leave that day. So when I told him, and I told him I think the day before I was supposed to leave, that hey, I'm not leaving anymore, so is there any way I can still stay here? We had built a really, really good relationship. Like I said, he was really kind. He would always make us food. He really liked us, and so he wanted me to stay really bad. Like he said, we were really good tenants, and he appreciated us, you know, being quiet and respecting his space. So he really wanted me to stay, but he had already found somebody to fill my space. And so that was when I kind of realized, like, oh damn, like this is not good. I'm here alone. I mean, I wasn't alone. I have my sister and I have family like in Ontario outside of Toronto, so I was never alone, but it did feel very lonely being like, damn, what am I going to do now, you know? So he thankfully, I mean, it was a hard thing that happened. So the girl that came to fill my spot came with all of her luggage, and once she was there, we kind of broke the news to her that, hey, I'm not leaving, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to do this so that none of us are homeless or upset or anything like that. I was staying, like I said, in the room that had the curtain with the window because it was supposed to be the living room, and the other girl was staying in the other room with the sliding glass doors. And so the girl that had just came refused to be in the room with the sliding glass doors. She was like, I need light for my sanity, which I entirely understand because I felt the exact same way. I could not be in a room with no light. Like that's something that's pretty detrimental to the health in my opinion. I mean, unless you're not gonna be there all the time, then it doesn't really matter. But if you know that's your home, everybody deserves to have a freaking window. So that was a really hard day. Her and I were both crying. We both, you know, neither of us wanted to be homeless, or like, it was just a hard thing. There's now still 4 of us, I guess, in this place, but before it was me and my friend, and we were sharing a bed, which was fine, but now it's like there's no room for all of us here. What are we gonna do? So the agreement that we settled on was she would take the room with the sliding glass door, which she really, really didn't want to, you guys. Like, she was standing on business hard about that one, which I get, but I was also staying in the other room for the whole month prior to that, so all my stuff was already in there. And so yeah, it was a whole thing. But we agreed that I'll be out in a week if you stay in that room for just a week, and then you can have the other room once I'm gone. So now it's kind of like I'm in that position where now I have a week to figure out where I'm gonna live, and it was a very stressful time. And also, I was like, okay, now I have to find somewhere to live. I also have to find a job. You know, I have to figure out this entire new life, because I just decided 3 days ago that I was gonna stay here. So it was very stressful times. So what ended up happening, yeah, she took that room with the sliding glass doors. Me and the other girl, who was a stranger to me, I mean, I had stayed with her for a couple weeks before that, and she was very nice, but she was still a stranger to me. So we had to share a bed for that week. And like I said, like, she was never home during the day, but then at night she would be there. She would wake up really early and then leave to go to work. So I ended up finding a job I actually found a job before Quay left. I found a job very quickly, which I'm very thankful for. And so I had worked maybe 3-4 shifts, and then that week that I was staying with the stranger, in the bed with the stranger, was a week called TIFF in Toronto, which is Toronto International Film Festival, if you don't live here or you don't know. And so most places, restaurants, clubs stay open until 4 a.m. so that it can kind of be like an after hours thing. So the place where I was working, my shifts would start at 4, and I would often work until 4, which was not really 4, it was more like 7 a.m. because you had to, you know, get everybody out by 4:30, and then you still have to do clean, cash out, everything like that, cutlery. So I was often spending like 14 hours there a day, and I was thankful because, you know, I just wanted a job. I was, you know, excited to work. So 10 days straight for TIFF, every single day I was working from 4 to 6, 7, going home once the sun was already up, and trying to crawl into my bed where this stranger is waking up and getting ready for work. Our schedules definitely did not mesh well together. So, and you know, I can't blame her. She had a normal schedule, I just didn't. So yeah, I would be trying to go to sleep when the sun is up, and this girl is in the room next to me making noise and trying to get ready for work. So it was really, really hard. It was not ideal. I had a friend that I had met when I was staying here in that like month vacation time, who was also kind of in a similar position, didn't really have a place to sleep, so I was with them half the time. I was like, I don't even want to go back to this Airbnb, so let's just go sleep wherever we can. We would crash on friends' couches. We literally one night slept on a hotel floor, not in a room, the floor. We one time slept in a Good Life. These are traumatizing stories to me, but it was just so dreadful being at that house and having to go home and have this stranger, you know, making all this noise and ruckus when I'm trying to sleep, and I was so stressed out trying to find a place to live, you know, because I only had a week to figure that out anyways. So that week was definitely very hard, but we made it work. Looking back at it, I laugh, so that's good. Yeah, so it came around to the last day of that week, and it was actually the morning. I got home from work and I couldn't even sleep. I was just so stressed out because that same night, it was already that day, right? And I had to go back to work that day. But that night, I didn't have a place to stay. So I begged my boss, please don't, like, I can't come to work today. He said, you know, that's okay, I get it, you have to find, you know, you have to situate your situation. So he gave me the day off, and I tried all day long to just find a place to stay. I was on Airbnb because finding somewhere that's more permanent to stay is really hard in a week. So I definitely tried, viewed a lot of places, but nothing really stuck or was a situation that I wanted to be in. I wanted to, have at least something better than what I was previously in. So booked an Airbnb for another month just to give me, a little bit more time to figure out what am I gonna do. So that Airbnb actually didn't even want to let me stay there. They were saying, oh, this ad was actually not supposed to be up. And I had already paid the money, already booked it, everything. I was like, well, you need to honor this because I'm gonna be homeless and I already paid you, and please just let me stay here. So thankfully they did. I was able to go, normally check-in is like 11 in the morning, so I was like, okay, this is perfect. I just got home at 7. I'm not even gonna sleep. I'm just gonna start packing my stuff and go. And they ended up messaging me saying, oh, we're not gonna be home until later that evening. It was like not until the sun set, so it was around probably 8 at night, maybe a little bit later than that. And the whole day I was just so stressed. I still hadn't slept that entire day, night, trying to figure out packing my stuff, figure out how I'm gonna get it there, but all by myself. And so when I finally did get to that Airbnb, it was a mess. It was obviously, I guess, like they said, it wasn't supposed to be on the thing, so I guess they weren't expecting somebody to come, but it was destroyed, y'all. The bed sheets were nasty, the floor was nasty, there was not even a light in my room. But I must say that that place was definitely an upgrade from the last place. It was a proper 2-bedroom apartment with doors and 2 bathrooms, so I got to actually have my own bathroom for once, which was so nice. So yeah, I ended up staying there for a month. My mom came to visit me while I was staying there as well. She brought a bunch more of my stuff from Calgary because I had only still had my summer clothes from my vacation for a month. I really didn't have much and it was about to be winter, so she thankfully brought me a bunch of jackets and things that I needed from home and was fully supportive in my decision. She did stay with me in that Airbnb, and the 2 guys that were staying with me in that Airbnb, who were the hosts, were staying together in the 2nd bedroom. I'm pretty sure because it wasn't supposed to be on the ad wasn't supposed to be up, that one of the guys was supposed to be staying in the room that I was staying in, but because thankfully they did let me stay there, they were now staying together in the room, which hopefully wasn't too hard on them. But it was not a fun week for my mom to be there. They were college students, so they were trying to have their fun. They were very chill with me, which was very nice. They were like, you can do whatever you want, you can pop bottles, you can have people over, you can blast the music, whatever. But now looking back, they were only telling me that I could do that so that they could also do that, which was totally fine with me. But there were nights where I was just trying to get some sleep and the music was bumping and I was like, ugh. And there was nights when my mom was there and she was just trying to get some sleep with me and the music was bumping and they were smoking and this is that. It was just not ideal again. Nothing was really ideal. And so yeah, stayed there for a month. Having to leave there hurt really bad. I don't know why, but when I had my last day there, I was crying. I was very sad to be leaving there, just probably because I knew that it wasn't really gonna get up from there right away because I wasn't able to move in with my sister still. She was living at her sorority house for school, so I knew that wherever I was going I was going to be by myself and it probably wouldn't really get any better than that. I don't know. So yeah, last day I ended up finding somewhere. My sister helped me to find something a little more temporary during the time that I was at that Airbnb. I found a house to live in for the next 6 months, and it was a 4-story house with 8 people living in it, and we all had our own rooms, and then there was a shared bathroom and kitchen on 2 of the levels. and the top and the bottom floor had individual units, so they were very lucky. But then the main floor and the top floor had 3 people each staying on them, sharing, like I said, a kitchen and a bathroom. Everybody in the house was kind of students, so like I was saying before, our schedules didn't really mesh. I was always working when they were home, and then like vice versa. Or, you know, they were at school when I was home. So for the first probably month of me living there, I didn't even see anybody in the house or hear anything. It was very nice, it was very quiet, but I was honestly convinced that I was living there alone for a while. Not legitimately, but I was like, where are the people that are supposed to be here? Until one day I was finally leaving the bathroom and then saw one of my roommates like standing in the kitchen, and I literally like jumped. We both jumped. I was like, literally, I thought I had seen a ghost. We never even exchanged names. I never talked to them. It was kind of a weird situation, but I was fine with that. I was like, you know, I don't need to really know you guys or be friends with you guys. There were some times though that I really wished I had gotten somebody's number, because the front door and bedroom doors would lock automatically after you left. So I had locked myself out of that house quite a few times in the cold and wanted to cry so many times. I had to like wait for my landlord to come with like a spare key for hours. Like, yeah, it was also not ideal. So yeah, but I ended up staying there for 6 months for my lease, and yeah, it was definitely not better than the Airbnb. I mean, the quiet was nice, but sharing a bathroom and sharing a kitchen is just not fun ever. Yeah, to like really get into like the 2 people that I was staying on that floor with too, like I don't know what the deal was. Maybe they had spoken before me, but nobody kept like their things in the bathroom, and that included toilet paper, you guys. Every single time I had to go to the bathroom, I had to bring the toilet paper from my room to the bathroom, and if I forgot it, well, tough luck. Like, that may be TMI, but that's totally okay. That was my real life struggle for 6 months. Until my sister got out of her sorority and it was time for her to find somewhere new, and luckily we were able to move in together. And ta-da, here I am today in the best place that I have stayed yet, a year later. And yeah, I am very, very happy that I thugged it out and was able to get through all of that to get to where I am now. Moral of the story is you can't heal in the place that you get hurt. That was the biggest thing for me, was just thinking that like the reason that I came here was beyond, it was way bigger than anything that I can share right now, but I knew in my heart of hearts that I needed to get out of Calgary. I was very depressed thinking of the thought about having to be back. I just had bad memories and like traumatic events in every corner of the city, it felt like, which was honestly the reality of it. And so if I could make it work here, why would I not try, right? So I tried, and I was successful. After, you know, things don't happen overnight. Obviously, I didn't move here and just have like my immediate place where I was happy and comfortable. And that's kind of what I didn't think that would happen, but I was hoping for that to happen, obviously. So yeah, I definitely had a little bit of a reality check when I did have to live in all of these very weird situations, but I made it through, and I'm very happy that I did. So if you want to move, this is your sign to do it. You can do it. It sometimes won't be fun, but if you stick it out, if you commit to the bit, you can do it. I know I wanted to mention some other things. I I just wanted to say as well that you are a product of your own environment, whether you would like to believe it or not. And when I was moving here and I was figuring things out, like my job and, you know, where I was gonna live, and trying to make friends because I didn't have any, and simultaneously trying to heal myself, I honestly just wanted to have people around. I was taking anything that I could get, and some of the things that I took were not good for me, and I was not able to see that at the time because I just wanted anything. I was feeling very lonely. Like I said I was in a very, very vulnerable state in my life where I was trying to heal and figure myself out all over again. So yeah, just you are a product of your environment. If you know that something may not be good for you, or you just get that feeling like I shouldn't be here right now, like your intuition speaks volumes. So listen to that and follow your heart, but use your mind to help guide you, and you will end up okay, hopefully. So yeah, I really hope that this story helps inspire somebody or helps you feel like you're not alone, you can get through it. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel as long as you allow there to be one. And yeah, I believe in every single one of you guys, and I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I don't know why it was like kind of emotional for me to talk about this. You might be able to see it in my face. I haven't really like told this story fully like through, but I'm just proud of myself at the end of the day. So yeah, thank you. I love you guys so much. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Tea out.